All right, guys. How's everything going? Hope everyone's having a great New Year so far. I'm back today with another review for you guys. Um, I've been digging back through my list of dub shows I have to watch, at least I want to watch anyway. Knocking them off pretty fast so far. Got through to Nash and After Story, and I was looking at the winter season to see what's coming out for winter season, and I noticed that Chaos Child was coming out. So I realized I have a section on Chief Anime, a folder where I have like Steins Gate, Psychopath, Psychopath 2, Robotics Notes, which I do love. I have a folder full of those shows waiting to watch. So I noticed I had Chaos Head in that folder also. So I said, okay, I read Chaos Child takes place, I think it said 9 years after Chaos Head. So okay, I have Chaos Head in my folder. Why not go ahead and watch it a few weeks before Chaos Child comes out? Now, granted, I've never heard, like, personally, I think Steins Gate is pretty terrible. It's not my favorite show by any means at all. But so I said I love Robotics Notes. So I said okay. I've never heard anything positive about Chaos Head at all. I always heard the Chaos Head just was not very good. It was very confusing, very just, for lack of a better word, terrible. So I was like, okay, can't be that bad. So I decided to watch it. Now, granted, I've seen my fair share of the like psychological type of animes that are confusing and overlapping plots and overlapping theories and concepts with like this happened because this reason and that reason and like I've seen those shows. I've watched a few seasons ago I watched the I want to say it was it's like Rumpun Ladders or something like that. It's based off of a series of novels or I want to say like murder folk tales or something. And it was one of those that was very confusing. The further it got along, the more confusing it got. And but it was confusing in a good way. Like it, you might get sidetracked sometimes. You might get lost in what was going on, but at the same time, it was fun to watch. Then a few seasons later, I watched the Perfect Murder F series, and it was incredibly confusing. It was, if you've seen, it, you know, it was the one about the lady who they thought killed herself, but then there was a daughter, and there was some more math problems, and there were some theories, and there were some concepts, and like scientific. It was a lot. It was a lot, and my brain sometimes can't handle all of that. I'm sorry, but it was. But at the same time, it was confusing, but it was a good story, which made it work. No matter how confusing it got, it was a good story. Then just recently, last year also, I watched or no, a year ago, I watched Higurashi When They Cry, which I love. It's the perfect example of being just confusing enough, but then also giving you everything you need to get unconfused. Because the first half of that series made zero sense, but the second half filled in every gap and every plot hole, and it was amazing how well it was done. So I'm like, okay, Chaos Head can't be any more confusing than that. But I was wrong. I was terribly wrong. Terribly, terribly wrong. Chaos Head. I don't even know where to start with Chaos Head. Chaos Head, like, okay, I saw a review for it on my anime list, and this person pretty much summed it up perfectly. Chaos Head fell victim to trying to trying too hard to be confusing and they tried too hard to have so many plots going on, and they were trying to be smart and they were trying to be different and out there, and it didn't work because there was just too much and nothing was ever really explained in a logical way. The first problem with the show is that it's only 13 episodes. It's 13 episodes, but they don't have a plot for 13 episodes. They have a plot for maybe 24 episodes, not 13. So you take the plot of Chaos Head, which is there's these murders called the New Gen murders going on, and they're trying to solve them. This guy, what's his name? Um, Takumi. Takumi is the main character. He's a neat, and he's a neat and a otaku. He's both. He stays in the room all the time, plays computer games, watches anime, goes to school sometimes, but he's also very smart. He starts having his vision about somebody dying, then he sees the murder, and then they, he meets the murderer in his dream, so to say. And so when he goes to the scene to where the murder actually happened, he finds the person dead there, and he meets this girl who he thinks is the killer. But that's episode one. Around episode 2 or 3, it turns out that he can have visions, and he's foreseeing these murders. And this person called the General keeps sending him these emails. Well, it turns out he is the General. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. He is the General. That's in like episode 2, maybe 3. We find out that he is the General. They tell him that you and the General are the same person. Okay. Fast forward to like episode 10, when we finally get confirmation that he is the General. That this, because there's this old guy who says he's the General, who's been following him around and telling him that you have to fix things, and if not, then you'll be the cause of all this damage and everything. But everyone always seems surprised and shocked when he's talking to this general, and nobody ever seems to think that, maybe the general is just you, but only older, because we told you were the general. But nobody ever says anything about that. They just kind of let that go. We fast forward. There's these. He meets these girls. There's I have names up here on Wikipedia because I know we remember the names. There's Rena. There's Yua. There's Nanami. And one other. Can't quite see her name. Computer froze up. But at least 3 of the 4 girls. No, all 4 girls have these, what they call D swords, which are almost like invisible bunkai swords, almost. They can pull them out of thin air. But the problem is, it's never really explained how you get a D sword. From what I got from getting a D sword is that once you zone in on your like power of belief beyond what you see in front of your eyes, you can get a D sword. So basically, if you just detach from reality and say that, what I'm looking at may not be what I'm looking at, then yeah, I get a D sword. That's how that goes. And so it was dumb. Okay, for example, I'm watching Wrestle Kingdom 11 right now. I think I'm watching Wrestle Kingdom 11. I could actually be watching Wrestle Kingdom 9. I don't know. If I can get enough people in this room to tell me that, yes, I'm watching Wrestle Kingdom 11, then it's confirmed that that's what this is. That was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It was because there's the one scene where Takumi's eating the blue popsicle, and she asked him. One of the girls asked him, I can't remember which one, and she said, "Yes. So, are you eating a blue popsicle?" And he says, "Yes, I am. Are you sure it's blue?" He's like, "Well, yeah, I bought it. It's a blue popsicle." "Well, maybe you just think it's blue, so it is, so you want it to be blue." And he was like, "What do you mean?" "Well, there's things we want to happen and we want to see, and so we say that's what it is. But if you can get one or more people to confirm that what you have is a blue popsicle, then it becomes real." Like what? Like, so you're telling me that everything I do and see is fake unless somebody else confirms that what I'm seeing and doing is real. And this concept goes on for episodes and episodes of where there's just like these half explanations of nothing. And it's like she even tells him one time that even he may not even be real. His senses are heightened, and there's each vision is like everything we do and see is a concept of our senses, and each senses is heightened to a certain degree, and when they come together, they make what we see. Like I have on brown shoes right now, but that's because my eyes and my nose are seeing blue, and then my ears are picking up the brown sound waves, so my shoes become brown. And the concept was ridiculous. Not only that, but they never really explained how they know any of this, how any of this is even possible. There's this one guy who apparently has done tests before on people's parents and children, and I mean, there's no explanation of even why he works for this big corporation that apparently wants to mind control everybody and control everything they do, but nobody explains why this corporation exists, what caused them to want to destroy everything. Um, she has changed just because her parents got killed by the same guy, and she was like chained down by it. It's so much taking it, and none of it makes sense. Like there's so much plot twist to this show, but yet zero of it makes any sense. There's nothing to any of it. It's all just gibberish, and that's the problem with Chaos Head is that it's like 90% gibberish and like 10% actual plot, and I don't quite understand why it's that way. There's D swords. There's the one girl, her name is Iowa or something to that effect. I don't see it on the list. Yeah, I see it. Iowa. It's AOI, Iowa. She's a rock singer by night, D Sword, knight by day. Yeah, because they're knights. They're knights of some mysterious realm or something, and they can control things. She never really explains why they're knights or how they became knights. They're just knights. They have these powers and they're knights. That's all you need to know. Because it turns out that Takumi is also a knight, and I don't know, but yeah, she's a rock singer by day, and then she also has the power to control her D sword, and she can split in half apparently, which is also never explained. She mentions that her power and her reality is so strong that she can split in half, but she does that one time in the whole show, and it's never needed again, and never even brought up anymore. It's just like a pointless thing she did to show him how powerful she was. And it's such a terrible show. It's so terrible. But then you do find out that Takumi and the General, as we were told earlier, are the same person, but actually Takumi is just a figment of the General's imagination. Like I was split in half, he split in half and made another him because he was dying. His powers make him grow old, and so he was in the hospital. And there's this nurse who was also turned out to be crazy, and she like dug his brains out or something. I don't know. They showed this on the screen, and like because the show takes place in it is in Shibuya. I think that's how you pronounce that. And that's where the show takes place. And like on the big billboard screen, like how you have in Times Square, they show a video of this nurse scooping his brains out. And I don't know what she did with the brains or whatever that happened, but she dug his brains out. Now there's a fake him. And so during this process of the last episode, Takumi becomes this like super badass guy. He's like Takumi, he's like Soul Reaper Takumi. He just takes over, he can fight now, he's not scared, he's nothing, he's just he can kick butt and take names. Then the real Takumi, he dies because he's getting older and older, so he dies, and then the fake Takumi becomes the real Takumi, and then we all live happily ever after with our new friends, and they beat the guy with the Noah 2 machine, what it's called. Noah 2 is a machine that apparently makes it's almost like an earthquake machine. It makes like an earthquake type action, and some people died. Some people were mind controlled by these backpacks with these like radio frequencies in them or something. I don't know. There's so much BS in this show that none of it, because there's Noah 2 and it does things, but then there's also people with like these radio backpacks on that it controls them, but then and they in turn control other people. But like I don't understand, because if this company has all this money and all this power to do this, then why not just like when the Noah 2 radiate waves, why not have it just automatically attract people instead of like attracting these certain people with backpacks, and then it goes from there, and it's just so weird and so bad. It's terrible. It's a terrible show. It truly is a terrible show. It's got some good characters in it, but it has the plot makes no sense for 13 episodes, and it tries too hard to be convoluted and too hard to be complicated instead of just simplifying things. Because if you break it down, there's a guy with Takumi who has visions, who's also a clone. There's these invisible swords. People can split in half. There's a earthquake machine. There's people who have been used as experiments. There's these imaginary chains. There's the fact that what we see is not exactly what we see. There's just so much. And if you break that down some and kind of combine it, it can kind of make sense. But instead, they just kind of threw everything out there. They hit a little bit here, and then skip episodes and go back to another part of the story. And it was just like, why? Like, nothing's ever fully explained in order. And so it's just a lot of story, skip a little story here, add a little more here, and go back to this story. And I don't know. And one thing I hated also was that usually in these kind of shows sometimes, the main character, which Takumi is the main character here, he never knows what's going on. Like from episode 1 to about 8, he's just kind of along for the ride. He's along for the ride. They're telling him things as they go along, but he has no idea what they're talking about. He slowly figures out pieces here and there, but he has no idea what's going on. And so they kind of fill him in. But every episode that comes on, they start off with a flashback of what happened in the last episode. And he slowly just grows more comfortable with it. Like, he just starts explaining things like he knows what he's talking about. Like, he knows what's going on. And that is a nitpick, but it bothered me because he never sounds panicked in any of these promos. He doesn't sound panicked. He doesn't sound terrified. He's just explaining like, yeah, we did this, and we defeated Noah 2, and we took S squared, and it's just like and it makes no sense. And so he just seems to be so comfortable with what's going on. Oh, one more thing. There's the fact that they do reveal in like episode 10 or maybe 11 that when he was younger as a child, he drew out some sketch that was actually a sketch for the Noah 2. It was some formula, IR equals 2 squared or something, and that was the whole floor plan for Noah 2. Apparently, when he was a child, he drew this. The people found out about it. They took the floor plans and they made Noah 2. But nobody explains why, as a child, was he drawing formulas, and why was he making these, because it clearly, when you look at it, it has like IR equals 2 squared thing in the corner. He I don't know, I just drew it. I don't know what it means. I just drew it. Nobody ever questioned why a 5-year-old or 6-year-old was drawing formulas and drawing machines, and it clearly stood for something. Because you could look at it and tell it wasn't just a drawing. But nobody ever questioned it. He's grown up now, and nobody ever questioned why he did this. But Noah 2 people found out about it, and they just took it and ran with it. So yeah, Chaos Head is worth the watch if you just don't mind being confused, and if you need a good laugh, because the more I watched it, the worse it got, but it also got funnier because there was just no concept at all of what was going on. They were just throwing storylines to see what stuck, and nothing stuck, and that was the problem. Nothing stuck. Not the D swords, not the thing about the Noah 2, not the thing about the sentences, not the thing about them splitting in half, not the chains, none of this stuff stuck. It was just random storylines they just threw in there. Like we got 13 episodes, what can we do? And they just bam, 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 and nothing worked. Nothing worked in the show at all. So it's worth a good laugh. There are some good fight scenes, and I will say that the fight scenes with these swords are very good. Although they never really fight, I guess they fight people with D swords, and people just randomly have D swords. I noticed people just kind of, oops, I have a D sword. I have one too. Yeah, I have one too. I'm from the Knights of so and so. I have a D sword too. Even the Noah 2 guy has a D sword. So it's incredibly weird and strange. And I don't know. I always thought I hated Steins Gate. I still do. But at least Steins Gate was always, to me, it was terrible. But it was just terrible enough. But it had just enough intrigue that I wanted to see what happened next. With Chaos Head, it was 13 episodes and I barely got through it. I barely got through it. By episode 6 or 7, I was just like, when's it going to be over? So I couldn't take it anymore. And the story gets worse and worse and worse. And the ending is just, they beat the guy. He dies. The older Takumi dies. Everything back to normal. And bam, show over. That's it. I will say one thing though. One last thing. The outro for the song is amazing. It's beautiful. The outro is like this techno J-pop song, but the lyrics, the opening lyric section is just so good. And I love it. So yeah, that was Chaos. That's my review on Chaos Head. If I had to rank it, I think I gave it a 5 out of 10 on my anime list, which is being nice. It's more of a 3 type of show, unless you just really enjoy it. If you've seen it and you really enjoy it, that's great. I could possibly see why, but if you watch it and you hated it, I definitely see why. So it's one of those shows that you either really like it or you despise it. And personally, for me, I think I have to despise it. I was hoping to be able to say that people were just judging it bad and it was a really good show, but it's really terrible. It's really, really terrible. So yeah, that's my review on Chaos Head. Thank you guys for listening to me rant for 23 minutes apparently. So thanks for watching. Like the channel, subscribe. Like the video, not like the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll try to be back soon with some more barks and everything for you guys. Until then, Maho out.